I was bound to a system. It told me I was the female lead in a sweet romance novel, and my childhood friend was the male lead. But the story had gone off track. The system demanded I win over the male lead, achieve a sweet ending, and save the world. I had spent 3 years chasing after Jackson, and he hated me for it. The moment he saw me, his face would tighten with impatience. His words were often cruel, laced with contempt. One afternoon, after I tried talking to him again, he sneered, "You cling to me like some desperate fan. It's pathetic. I like Luna, not you. Can you find someone else?" Right then, the system's cold mechanical voice chimed in. "Host, one opportunity detected to switch targets. Do you want to change?" "Yes. Switch, switch, switch." I should have done that ages ago. I didn't even hesitate. Whatever the reason, I was ready to drop this walking disaster of a man. "Please wait. Retrieving new data," the system replied. I ignored the human-shaped thorn standing beside me. Jackson might have been handsome. Wild features, soulful eyes, lips that could charm anyone. But right now, those lips curled into a smirk as he spat more insults. "You follow me around like a stalker. It's disgusting. Stop." "Yes, yes, whatever you say," I answered absently, my mind already elsewhere, fingers twitching in anticipation of my new assignment. Jackson and I had known each other since we were 5. Back then, he had been my hero. At 5, he stood up to 3 kids who bullied me, taking the punches so I wouldn't get hurt. At 8, when I fell out of a tree and injured my leg, he cried the whole way as he half dragged me home. At 14, when my first period came unexpectedly, he gave me his jacket and blushed all the way to the store to buy pads. Before I turned 18, I was the only girl in his circle. Back then, I truly thought he liked me, at least a little. So when the system named him as my target, I believed we'd sail toward a happy ending. Instead, after 3 years, his affection had fallen into the negatives. Honestly, mine had too. I prayed silently. "Please, dear gods, send me a normal, tall, good-looking man." I trade 30 years of Jackson's life for it. Jackson's voice cut through my thoughts. "I'll never be with you in this lifetime. Now disappear." Sure," I said, not even listening, already adding a backup prayer. "God, I'll even trade 30 years of Jackson eating kale if you make it happen." Amen. He gave me a strange look, then turned away when his friend, Leo, approached. "Jax, Luna's waiting in the VIP booth. Let's go." "All right. By the way, Alaris says she won't bother you anymore. You don't care?" Jackson scoffed. "It's just a new trick. She'll be back, clinging to me in a few days. She can't let go." Enough talk about her. It's disgusting. The system's voice returned. "Host, your new target is Caleb." Caleb, the school's academic prodigy. Tall, sharp, effortlessly handsome, from a good family. He had the kind of quiet aura that drew eyes without trying. And best of all, completely single. I nearly laughed out loud. I was going to light incense at the temple in gratitude. He was reportedly in the library that day. I put on a soft floral dress, light makeup, and tied my hair into pigtails for a fresh, innocent look. I grabbed a book I'd borrowed, my excuse to be there, and set off. Right before I left, my phone rang. "Luna wants desserts from Sweet Haven. Get them and some boba. Half an hour. Ask someone else. I'm busy." He ignored me entirely. "Hurry up. Even when you play hard to get, don't overdo it." Then he hung up. I blocked his number. Freedom felt so good. At the library, I returned my book and scanned the room. Caleb wasn't hard to find. He practically glowed compared to everyone else. I quickly plotted my approach. Eye contact through the bookshelf? No, too complicated with double layers. But pretending I couldn't reach a book? Perfect. A tall guy like him would naturally offer to help a helpless girl. Then we could talk, maybe grab dinner, and Well, you never know. I positioned myself near him, reached up on tiptoe, and put on my best, almost but not quite face. After a few moments with no help, I glanced sideways. He was gone. I stepped away from the bookshelf and spotted Caleb sitting in the reading area. Seriously? The guy didn't even notice my award-winning helpless damsel act? Suppressing a sigh, I grabbed a romance novel from the fiction section and sat across from him. I thought I'd spend the whole time sneaking glances, but the book was so over-the-top ridiculous that I ended up completely hooked. By the time I looked up again, Caleb was gone. Perfect. Mission failed thanks to a paperback. I decided to take the novel back to my dorm for research purposes, learn from it so I wouldn't get distracted again. Except fate had other plans. Jackson was downstairs when I returned, leaning like he owned the building. When he saw me, he straightened up, clearly expecting me to walk over and greet him like I always did. Not my target anymore, so nope. I brushed right past him without a word. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw his usual smug grin falter. That alone was worth the walk by. But of course he had to open his mouth. Alara, where were you this afternoon? Why didn't you do what I told you? Keep this up and I'll ignore you for good. I stopped, turned, and let 3 years of bottled up irritation spill out. What's our relationship exactly? Do I live off your money? Drink your water? Why should I listen to you? Are you deaf from arrogance? Blind from narcissism? Or just missing a few brain cells? Now get lost before I run out of politeness. God, that felt amazing. His face went red. You're rude and unreasonable. Then he stormed off. Wow, 0 combat skills? I muttered, heading to my dorm in the best mood I had in years. For the next few days, I shamelessly drowned myself in novels until the system practically yanked me out of bed, demanding I get back on mission. Step 1, make contact. Last time I tried settle. This time, direct shot. I found some love letter templates online, stitched them together into one masterpiece, slipped it into a pinked envelope, and dabbed it with my perfume. For the look, I went sweet and cute. Peter Pan collar, pink skirt, twin pigtails. My roommate had told me Caleb had a class that afternoon. I grabbed the letter, picked up a boba tea, and headed straight for him. When class ended and students were still milling around, I walked right up to him. Letter first, smile turned to soft and charming. Caleb, I want us to create our own happy ending. The whispers started immediately. Another beauty confessing to Caleb? Wow, he's popular, but isn't that Jackson's shadow? Shadow? Excuse you, I thought, glaring until the gossipers shut up. When I looked back, Caleb was smiling at me. And then, without hesitation, he said, "All right, let's create our happy ending, girlfriend." Finally, this is what a romance should feel like. Here, boyfriend, here, boba tea. We walked out hand in hand, with more than a few jealous stares trailing behind us. My cheeks burned, but I couldn't bring myself to let go. His hand was warm, strong, with perfectly defined knuckles. And then, of course, Jackson appeared to ruin the moment. Alara, stop this. You're just trying to provoke me. Caleb, I'm sorry, but she's playing around. She doesn't mean it. I'll take her with me. He reached for my arm, but I shoved him back. Jackson, not everything is about you. This is my real confession. And if anyone's delusional here, it's you. His jaw tightened. If you keep this up, you'll lose me and hurt Caleb. Come back with me. When he grabbed my wrist, I struggled, ready to throw a punch. But Caleb stepped in, gripping Jackson's arm. She doesn't want to go with you. Let go, or we'll have a problem. She does want to, Jackson insisted. We're just fighting. She loves me. I shook my head immediately. He's imagining things. Don't believe a word. Caleb's voice stayed calm. I trust my girlfriend. She says no, so you need to let her go. Jackson released me and I slipped behind Caleb, smiling sweetly. Jackson, I chased you for 3 years. You never cared. You hated it. Now I'm gone. Shouldn't you be happy? No more glue sticky Laura. You're free. Go to Luna. He froze, unable to answer. I took Caleb's hand and led him away, talking the whole way about how dangerous it was to be near Jackson. He's got a contagious kind of arrogance. Stay too close and you might catch it. Caleb just listened, smiling faintly. Before I knew it, we were at my dorm. Do you have class tomorrow? He asked. Unfortunately, 8 a.m. and another at 2. He nodded. Then let's have lunch tomorrow. There's a new underwater restaurant. Want to try it? Yes. That night, I went all in on preparing myself back at the dorm. I scrubbed from head to toe, treated my hair with extra care, and spread my clothes out to carefully plan an outfit that would make me look my best for Caleb tomorrow. I even warned my roommates that I'd be getting up early and might make some noise. They didn't mind. In fact, they eagerly gave me tips on clothes and makeup. I wasn't expecting that when I walked out of the dorm building the next morning, Caleb would already be there, wearing a crisp white shirt and holding several paper bags. My roommates exchanged knowing looks, teasing me that they wouldn't play third wheel, then quickly headed off. I smoothed my hair and walked over to him. "Morning," I greeted politely. He smiled warmly. "Good morning. I brought breakfast. You can share with your roommates." When I asked if he had pastries and coffee, he immediately pulled them out for me, then handed over the rest of the bags for my friends. After giving the food to my roommates, Caleb walked me to my building before heading to his own class. Inside, Chloe had already saved me a seat. She grinned around a bite of pastry. "Breakfast from my roommate's boyfriend. This is delicious." I laughed and stuffed another pastry at her. "Eat up." Political science dragged by in a sleepy haze, and afterward, I waited outside for Caleb. The campus was alive with the hum of bicycles. A breeze carried cool air, and sunlight filtered through the trees. When I saw him, I slipped my arms around his waist, feeling something unnameable stir inside me. We had lunch at an underwater-themed restaurant. Everything was in shades of blue, and fish swam past the glass walls. Caleb wasn't a big talker, but he listened, responded to everything I said, and never mocked me, even when I rambled. He respected my choices completely. Being with him felt like living inside a daydream, but that bubble popped the moment we got back to campus. People were whispering, pointing. Before I could figure out why, a pretty girl shoved me away from Caleb. He caught me and turned icy. He asked her, "What do you think you're doing?" She faltered, but pushed on. "Caleb, she's a manipulative player, juggling multiple guys. Jackson exposed her on the school forum." I ignored her, pulled out my phone, and opened the forum. The top post was titled, "School Hotties Simp. No, call me the queen of players." It had 5 photos of me with different men, snapshots of me getting out of luxury cars, and captions with exact dates and places. Even I might have believed it if I weren't the subject. The poster wasn't named, but everyone knew the account. It belonged to Leo, one of Jackson's friends. His buddies were hyping it up in the comments. My hands shook with rage. Caleb gently stroked my head and said, "I believe you. I'll help you clear your name." I called Jackson. His smug voice came through. "What? Can't stay away from me? Apologize and maybe I'll see you." I saw red. I demanded, "Where are you?" Sensing my tone, he finally answered, "First canteen, second floor." I stormed off, with Caleb following. Upstairs, Jackson was laughing with Luna and his friends, looking perfectly innocent. Something in me snapped. I punched him, then kept swinging until people pulled us apart. "What's wrong with you?" he yelled. I threw the forum post at him, literally, and watched his face darken. Without a word, he turned and punched Leo. They argued, throwing blame back and forth, and I cut in coldly. "I've reported this to the police. Get ready for a criminal record." Leo panicked, begging for a private settlement to protect my reputation. I thought about it. Police involvement would punish him, but also risk my own image. Caleb's steady presence at my side helped me decide to walk away. I had the post deleted. The police confirmed it was defamation, and the main culprit got a record. Others received school demerits. Luna's name was dragged through the mud, though no proof tied her directly. As for Jackson, he vanished. Through it all, Caleb stayed beside me. The incident barely dented my life. I still enjoyed time with my boyfriend, making little surprises for him as he did for me. But just when I thought things were perfect, Jackson showed up again like a shadow I couldn't shake. Jackson stared at me with that deep, unwavering gaze and suddenly said, "Ilara, I figured everything out. We should be together." I blinked. What exactly did you figure out? I know you have a boyfriend, but that was just to make me jealous, right? Now that I'm here, go break up with him." "No," I answered firmly. "I'm in love with him, and I'm not ending it." He frowned. "Is this about Luna? There's nothing between us. I don't even like her." This isn't about her, I said seriously. Look at me, Jackson. I don't have feelings for you anymore. His eyes searched mine, desperate for a sign that I was lying. But when he saw I meant it, his eyes reddened. I remember when you brought me meals, tutored me, stayed by my side even when I was awful to you. You clearly liked me. How can you just stop? The hurt in his expression might have been convincing to someone else, but I had seen him act foolish too many times to feel sorry. Jackson, no one waits forever, neither will I. And fix your attitude. No girl will put up with it for long. He hesitated, then asked, if I change, will you like me again? No, I said flatly. After that, he disappeared for days. One night, Caleb and I were walking back from a movie when we noticed someone shadowing us. Caleb pulled me aside, ready to confront them. But before he could, the figure stumbled and fell with a heavy thud. It was Jackson, drunk. Caleb helped him up, planning to drop him at a hotel. All the way there, Jackson kept staring at Caleb in a way that made my skin crawl. Once in the room, Jackson slurred, "What magic do you have? How did you steal my female lead?" The phrase made my heart jolt. Caleb brushed it off as drunken nonsense, but I knew better. System, I hissed in my head. Why is Jackson saying female lead? Scanning. Likely scenario. Jackson has awakened to his role in the story. He knows he's the male lead and is resisting the plot, which caused deviations. Jackson proved it moments later. The story says I'm the male lead, Ilara, and you're mine. Caleb, standing between us now, asked coolly, what else does the plot say? I silently begged Jackson to shut up. Instead, Caleb smiled sweetly while forcing water down Jackson's throat until he passed out cold. Then he turned to me. Ilara, you don't seem surprised that we're characters in a book. When did you find out? What? That's just drunk talk, I lied, hands clasped behind my back. He raised an eyebrow. When you lie, you put your hands behind your back. Traitorous hands. System, help me, I begged. No interference unless it affects mission completion, it replied smugly. I gave up 3 years ago. I explained about Jackson resisting the story, my need to keep the plot on track, and how deviating too far would collapse the world. My role as the female lead meant I needed the perfect happy ending. Love, family, career. Caleb quickly pieced it together. So, I'm the new male lead. Yes, and we're not forced to follow the script. Right. The story's already unrecognizable thanks to Jackson. I studied him warily. You're not going to rebel against the plot too, are you? He chuckled, ruffling my hair. Why ruin my own life? I've already seen what happens to people who try. Relieved, I shot one last glare at Jackson. Leave him here. Let's go. Caleb and I ended up with our diplomas and our marriage license in hand on the exact same day. That afternoon, Luna approached me. She gestured towards Jackson sitting quietly in the corner and said, how can you be so cold? After everything you two have shared, you're just going to walk away? He truly cares for you. Can't you see that? I replied calmly. He does care. He genuinely likes me. But that's not the same as loving someone deeply. If you really love someone, you wouldn't speak words that cut so deeply. He's still young. One day, he'll meet someone who's a better match for him. And right now, Luna pressed further. I gave a small wave as I started to leave. Right now, think of it as a harsh life lesson. I'm going to take wedding photos with my husband. Bye. The camera clicked, capturing my brightest smile. And faintly, almost like an echo in my mind, I heard, congratulations, host. You've reached your happy ending.